So we here with Victor Wong of Zoologist. Can you tell a few words about your brand and your line and your perfumes?
Wow, okay. My perfumes are all named after animals and got the inspiration from the habitat, the diet, or maybe even cultural inspiration. So, for example, hummingbird, you imagine you're a hummingbird and you're flying in the garden and you have a long beak, and that's why you are getting all the honey and the trumpet florals. So it's not just random flowers. You have we designed based on what they could possibly eat and what they like. So
Okay. So what I know you started about 4.5 years ago, and I remember we was walking down the street from Eglinton Station, and you was talking that you thinking of opening a brand, a perfume brand. Remember those days?
yeah, okay.
And how come you come up to this idea to begin with?
Wow, that's a long story. I just got hit by the perfume bug, and I just I'm just very curious and if it's possible to have my own line. And I was pretty frustrated with my day job at that time, and I went online and see if there are any indie perfumers that will help me. And then 2 perfumers replied back, and then that's history. And then I started creating my brand, and it was very humble.
Who was the first indie perfumer in your case? I think it's Shelley.
It's Paul Kyler and Chris Bartlett.
Oh.
Yes.
And Shelley Waddington was later down the road.
Yes, after I created beaver, rhinoceros, and panda, people were saying, "Wow, they are a bit challenging." So I said, "Okay, I think I need, to have a more mass appealing scent, and I definitely need a floral." And Paul kind of rhinoceros recommended Shelley Waddington to me, and we made hummingbird.
Yeah. Well, we have the whole collection here at the table, having a nice time with Victor, having coffee, chat, and smelling all his line so far. Plus 2 secret ones, which is I'm gonna tell you later down the road. Okay, until now, see you in a couple minutes or later. Bye. So this is how many altogether here?
You can do it like this. Will be interesting because you actually see.
Yeah, with the legend. Yeah.
Because you can actually see the.
So tell me, what is your favorite note?
My favorite note. Oh, that's tricky.
Of not just of your line, but in general. You can read this here, macaque.
I think I like myrrh.
Myrrh? Okay. What about moss? Like oak moss?
They are okay.
They're okay?
I think they need to be in a perfume with other things. Just by itself, it's a bit too mossy.
But on the other hand, it's such a. But to me personally, like any wooden moss, especially oak moss, which is forbidden now in fragrance.
It's not forbidden.
Thing.
It's limited.
It's not like they substitute it, I think, but they don't produce the real oak moss. Like they not extracting it because it's forbidden. And for me, it's like I used to smell in childhood like my dad's colognes, all based on oak moss. And that's kind of what you're missing from your childhood. That's what's most in demand in your desire. So that's one of my favorite notes on top of a rose. And rose, again, it all depends what kind of rose. It's all rose are so different.
Yeah.
What else?
Are you diluting?
Yeah.
It's hard to tell. It's like I know I like sandalwood.
Well, oh, what about incense or something like saffron? That's what is interesting for me.
I wouldn't say I like everything, but it's just hard to tell what exactly. It depends. I like powdery stuff, so I think geranium is when mixed with certain materials becomes like a powdery scent. I think I like it.
And why you consider geranium as powdery? I would never thought of this way because powdery for me is like a baby powder or my mom's powder for the face, but not powdery like for geranium.
I think geranium mixed with sandalwood becomes powdery. It could be. I could be wrong. But.
Well, for me, it's like powdery is like it's a pollen. Maybe you think powdery of geranium pollen or something like that.
Pollen.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a very abstract feeling.
Okay. So
So you have also these. I don't have the sample cards yet. They're getting printed.
I want to see what's this.
This Hyrax, which will be Lucky Scents exclusive.
Okay.
This
That's
one is
awesome.
very animatic.
I can
It's like
imagine.
you have to be
I just want to smell.
brave.
It's mostly. I think it's mostly for men, but some women would
It's
love
not
this
even
too.
for men or women. It's just
It's just
if
for
you
collectors.
Yeah, and also for people who are very curious about Hyraceum, which comes from the Hyrax, the animal. It's the fossilized urine stones. So the perfumer, not actually the compounding house company, they told me they gather a zoo in U.S. The zookeepers gather the urine stones from the Hyrax.
Oh, really?
And then send them to a French company to distill them to make tinctures, and they sell it very expensively. So this has real Hyraceum, but it's I think most people will not like it, but believe it or not, this is one of the most expensive perfumes to make.
For the whole line.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's good. If no one wants it, then I will not, spend so much money producing it. Because
like
if it's become popular, I'll be in trouble.
So it's like you invested most of the money in this precise perfume.
It's not I invest a lot of. I think it's based on per kilo of perfume compound that I receive. So this one I pay a lot for it because it has real rose, real tonka, and real Hyraceum, and they are all expensive. But the effect, interestingly, it's very abstract. Like other perfumes, you can say, "Oh, I can smell there's jasmine in it," and this one just doesn't smell anything you can think of. The effect is to make it smell like you're in an African mountain and the sun is heating up the rocks.
Okay.
And the urine stones of the Hyrax.
I can imagine what that's gonna be.
But it has a Hyraceum accord, which is actually not made with Hyraceum, but it's to make with some other thing like whiskey, saffron, castoreum, and civet, all mixed together. It creates a similar smell to Hyraceum without the urine smell. So it's kind of the neutral Hyraceum. So we have the accord.
Who have that idea to begin with?
Well, the accord is created by the perfumer, but I actually told the perfumer after smelling all his work, because his work is very bold and assertive, and not very floral. And I said, yeah, you need to make Hyrax for me, because he has made a perfume called Civet Intense, which is like I couldn't even wear it outside. It's very poopy.
If I ask my husband, he has always a definition if it's poopy or not poopy.
Oh, okay.
Everything is most of the perfumes for him is poopy.
But there is actually a wildlife photographer who've been to South Africa, and they took photos of real hyrax. And when she sprayed it, and said, "Wow, my mind is blown because it actually smelled like she was there on the mountaintop, smelling the rocks and the hyrax."
And what's the second one?
And the second one is mauve.
That's what I'm interested myself.
Most people are interested in this perfume, which is very unique in my opinion. So it has three major components. The first part is spice, like dark spices.
That's Victor Wong.
It has like dark spices. It has nutmeg, clove, and what's the other one? I don't remember. But it has also a little bit cinnamon, I think. And it's like nutmeg and clove. Those spices, when used, usually they are very pungent. But then it's tamed a little bit by the powdery floral accord, which has mimosa, rose, jasmine, lily of the valley. And then you have a very smoky accord, which is made out of oud. Nagamotha is the kind of like a smoky wood, and then gaiac wood. So altogether, you have a very gothic scent almost.
Oh,
so the
a lot
concept
of people like gothic smells.
So it's like the concept is that the moth is flying towards the flame, looking for love, and it burns itself to death and become ash, like powdery ash.
Oh wow! Who created that legend? You?
Yes, I asked her.
What was this legends? Actually, I like them all. How you come up with them?
Okay, you should have a reaction. You should try a little bit and see.
Okay, you'll have to just put it on stove for a couple seconds, and then I'll come back.